What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome to Not Your Status Quo. Tonight, we're talking Lazarus, episodes 9 and 10. But before we get, and little teaser, I learned this on the local news, and we got some MCU and DCU tidbits, a little bit from James Gunn's Rolling Stone interview that I think we should all talk about. But that'll be later, so stick around for that. But before we get into all of that fun, Dave, Doug, how's it going, gentlemen?
Well, Keith, I'm fan-freaking-tastic. The only time that I didn't, actually have a good time these last few days is when I watched these two episodes. Maybe that's a little
I
harsh.
wish you were just being Dave right now. I really do.
But I did have a good Father's Day. Thank you to both my daughters. We went and saw a movie last night with Sierra. Went and saw Ballerina, which was on the Doug scale. I'd give it about a 6.5. The action was great. The Ana de Armas was great. There was just a lot of plot holes. So, but this isn't a review of that. So, and let's see. There's a few things I got. Like, check out this shirt that I got for the day.
Oh,
it's
that's
an
cool.
actual pickle Rick. This is a pickle in here.
Nice.
I don't know. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. I mean, if I eat it, it kind of loses its novelty. But if you don't eat it, it just goes bad.
Well, I'll show you what you do with it. Hold on. Where are you at? Come on. Move, Aquaman bucket.
Do you store all of the bucket?
See these guys?
Yeah.
Hard as a rock.
So that's what
But again, they lose their novelty if you open them and eat them and use them.
Right.
I don't know if they're going to make another Ghostbusters movie. This is made, to advertise the movie.
Right.
So
I
could
will
I
not open
probably keep a bunch of stale marshmallows? Probably not, but
You never know when you got to hurl it and hit somebody in the head.
there
Take
you
'em
go.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got some other cool stuff here, like
My dad's the pudding.
the chocolate
Chocolate
pudding.
ice cream.
I sure am the chocolate pudding. So yeah, it was a good day spent with my daughters. So
Oh, very good.
moving on. How are you, Doug?
Well, Dave, let me tell you, I am outstanding. I don't have any kids that I'm aware of, so unfortunately, no, big Father's Day celebration for me. I mean, I did hang out with my dad for a little bit, and got him a card and ordered him something that he wanted for his weed whipping device. He's got one of those like interchangeable weed whipper, edger, trimmer things, and so he needed a new piece for it. Got him that. He was happy. He went and played softball. That made him happier.
Your dad is
Yeah, the
still playing
dads, they like-
softball? Your dad is still
He's
playing
still
softball?
softball.
Oh my God, yeah. He loves it.
You see, the dads, they appreciate the more functional gifts rather
Yeah.
than the toys. So that's
Honestly,
that's
I'd be the same way. If
Yeah.
someone was to get me a Father's Day gift, again, one of my kids out there that I'm unaware of, that maybe may or may not exist.
Giggity.
Giggity. But yeah, I would be the same way. Like, yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm kind of down for socks. I could use some socks. Give me a tie or something. I don't know. Give me something useful that I can use. I need a new mouse. Actually, I need a new computer mouse. There we go.
I need a new laptop. Where's mine?
Hey, there you go. Yeah.
It's only $600 each, girls. Well, come on.
Hey, yeah, come on, man. But yeah, I am doing pretty darn good. I am glad to be here hanging out with you fine gentlemen. And boy, have I got things to say about Lazarus. But before we get into that, Keith, sir, how are you doing?
Well, gentlemen, I am tremendous. Much like Dave, had a very nice Father's Day yesterday. Spent it with my family and my in-laws, and I did get some socks, and I was very happy to receive them. For some reason, since I've started working at home and I don't wear shoes, I wear through socks like there's no tomorrow because I'm just walking around in socks all day long.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was much needed. Got a few other things I'm very happy about. And then, I watched Lazarus. Thankfully, I waited till today to watch it. I didn't ruin
He saved that to the end.
my Father's Day yesterday. But we should probably get into it because
We don't have to if you don't want to.
no, we probably should. We took the time
Whether
to watch
we
it.
review it,
But
whether we
Keep
review
celebrating
it or not,
Daddy's
you're
Day a
still
little
gonna
bit
gain-
longer.
You're going to gain the same knowledge whether we watched it or not.
on the bright side,
Uh-huh.
episode 9 was called Death on Two Legs, which is a Queen song from their 4th album, A Night at the Opera.
You want to know something fun?
I always want to know something fun.
The song title that they used had zero to do with the episode, so that's pretty fun.
That's what I'm getting frustrated with myself.
I beg to differ. Death on Two
Really?
Legs, I thought that assassin dude was kind of Death on Two Legs.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. I kind of forgot he existed for a minute.
I didn't know if you were making fun of it because it was so on the nose that you were pretending it didn't. I'm like,
No,
Okay.
I don't.
Just
The
that's
episode's
been
kinda
the
blurred
streak
together.
overall in the show.
I
Overall,
forgot that episode 9 opened with him walking down the
Walking.
street.
Yeah.
Here it comes, just a
You know what that
walk
should have been
down-
called? It should have been called "I'm Walking." by Chubby Checker. That would
Yeah,
have been
there you go.
not the Proclaimers, I would walk 5,000 miles.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, you can do that
boom.
one too. That one would fit.
It would probably be better than what we got. But to kick off Death on Two Legs, Chris, I'm sorry, Russian spy girl, is recovering from her injuries.
Yeah, none of them have names.
And narrator is talking about Axel, about the possibility of Lazarus being erased as a loose end if they complete their mission. And then something that made me laugh in this episode, when parkour guy is like, he's like, I've been thinking about something. I gotta ask you. He's like, you gonna ask me out on a date? He's like, no.
And he says, "Oh, too bad," or something.
Yeah, I'm like, I couldn't tell if he was messing with him or if he really wanted to ask him out. But it was great because most
end
shows
of the
where it'd
world,
be like,
right?
it'd be like, oh, we have to have like this romantic plot thing, and I was like, are they? And then he's like, no, and I'm like, oh, that's good. At least they didn't pursue, there's no romantic entanglements anywhere on this show because they waste everything
have-
anyway.
But Keith,
Yeah, it
they
wasn't
have
gonna go
plenty
anywhere
of
anyway.
time. They have so much time for a nice little romance that they can just drag out. Wait, how many days were left again?
At the end of this
10.
episode 10, yes.
Oh, yeah, plenty of time. Go on a couple of dates. Have a good time.
You might not see next weekend.
They make sure to mention that, yeah.
We do hear that quite a bit. I'll hang out with you on Sunday. But
Yeah.
Abel and Hirsch are attending a committee hearing at the Pentagon where they're slamming the lack of progress that Lazarus has been making. And I was like, this is almost like people watching
This
the
is us.
show. I'm like, this is the most meta thing I've seen on
Yes.
the show.
Right.
Oh my God, I thought the same thing. I'm like, are they just stand-ins for the audience? Like, they must know that. And so, yeah, you know what, Lazarus, they're not accomplishing anything. I would be asking the same thing too. Like, I mean, I get it. I know that there's not a lot of time left, and they really don't have time for a committee meeting. But seriously, come on, guys.
You guys
What have you done?
You've blown up a Russian oil tanker. I can't even remember all the things they did because I don't care to remember. But I was watching it going like, they're saying what we're all thinking.
Right?
But then the
Didn't change
big
anything.
bomb. They bring in their star witness.
Drone boy.
Yes, and it was Drone Boy. And I was like, oh, huh. Then I'm like, oh, okay, is he gonna, blow them out of the water and say all this stuff? But no. Team building 101. He says nice things about the team and that they're making progress. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool, great stuff. They got 10 days and they're arguing about who's closer to finding him. I'm like, this is...
Wait. budgets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Were you blown away by, the dun dun dun? They have a witness, and it's someone from the team, and oh, it's just a kid, and he's actually saying some nice things, and that's it.
Yeah.
This whole episode was a
Either
meeting,
way,
and this
Doug,
meeting could have been an email.
that totally
Oh my
blew my
God.
mind, man. I was blown away. I didn't know what to do.
You were
after
blown
that.
away, Dave. I mean,
Yeah, I was-
were you surprised? Were you so shook that you had to pause and take a minute to breathe?
I was taking a minute. Yeah, I taking a minute to look at my phone. Is what I was doing.
Yeah. Plenty of that
I
happening.
wanted to make sure my blood pressure was still being monitored by my phone because it had dropped to dangerously low levels.
It's like, huh? Oh, okay.
Oh, there it goes.
But then,
Sorry, it was just so boring that my body was shutting down out of pure.
no, this was,
That's what I was saying.
I have been very good. Even though I want to, I have not been looking at my phone during these episodes. This episode, I was like, I can't help it. I'm just like, holy shit, something beeped. I'm going to look at it because what's happening on screen cannot hold my attention. It was when narrator and parkour guy are talking, and he's like, I think we have a mole. I saw Drone Boy with 2 phones the other day. Sounds like you caught your
Okay.
mole, because nobody ever carries 2
Right?
phones, one for work. And
Right.
I'm like, this is the most razor thin logic that I've ever seen in my life.
Keith, you don't understand. There's no time. They've got to rush through this. That's why there is zero development. They cannot dwell. They got to get to it. They got to just get it done. They got to pack all their shit up and they got to just get to it.
But the Hapna has made them so sort of West Coasty, sort of, hey, whatever, dudes.
They're
We'll
just
get
like
to it when we
accepting
get
everything.
to it.
like,
Yeah, he's like, Skinner's
Hey,
like,
man.
I shouldn't have made Hapna so powerful because now nobody cares to look for me. They're like,
Right.
we got 10 days, plenty of time. I'm not worried about it. It's cool, whatever.
Oh, I do love the reveal that he's like, oh, by the way, I was the first patient.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't find me first,
Right. So,
all good.
it sucks to suck.
And then the worst part is, he says that, and they're all like, I don't think he took the antidote. And then like Hacker Girl comes in later and is like, did you guys think he didn't take the antidote? You guys really are not sure of that? I was like, oh my God. No, he took it. He's going to die anyway. Because the antidote needs a second and third antidote concoction to get it all together. I was like, some of these lines, like the dialogue in this makes George Lucas look like freaking Tarantino.
Damn. Holy crap.
oh, and I can't see. They melded together for me. I want to make a comment, but I don't know which episode it's in. The general, was he in this episode or was he in the next one?
This one, yeah.
Now,
Okay.
the general who hired the assassin or the guy who's head of the NSA?
The guy in the military fatigues.
Okay, yep, okay.
Yeah. Yep. This
And
episode.
he appears not to have taken Hopna because he is getting really excited over everything. That's why.
Also, his assistant, or no, not his assistant. The bald dude. His assistant also seemed really chipper for some odd reason.
Oh, you're right.
Right. Like maybe they didn't take it. I mean, they're military.
Maybe.
Maybe they were not allowed.
And we've always thought that, at least I've always thought, that when Hapna kills the majority of the people on the planet will make a comeback and start thriving again because it's not all the humans that are on there. But we
Because
assume,
Thanos.
yeah, Thanos, yep. But we assume that, remember, the people that he based Hapna off of, who don't feel pain, who have that, genetic inability to feel pain, they're probably all going to live, but they live off
Oh,
the
yeah.
land and everything else. So, I still think this is going to end up being I'm saving the planet Earth by murdering all of the humans on it. Unless you can find me, and then I'm going to save everybody. Hide and seek.
Oh, you're gonna have to be quicker than that.
No, I'd say the only part of this episode that really caught my attention at first was the beginning, just for kind of like how outlandish it was. You have this dude just in the Hopna zone, just kind of like trudging along, walking, minding his own business. This crazy dude's gunning other people down. The police are doing exactly what the police do, showing up late and then getting on their walkies like, what are we gonna do?
It's gripping. It's a gripping tale.
But that was like the only part of this episode that really had my attention. The rest of it was literally just, we have to meet about how unsuccessful you are. Oh, no, it turns out they are getting close. Oh, and by the way, it seems like Lazarus is the only team that is actively looking for Skinner.
Yeah.
And nobody else is, I guess?
That's because they've all taken Hopna and they don't care.
It's like, hey, man, it's whatever, it's cool.
We die, man. You know what I'm saying? Jeez.
Well, once again,
Live, laugh, toaster bath.
When Abel was telling the committee, hey, we don't have time for this, we're running out of time, I was like, once again, they're channeling the audience. Like, why did they write this whole thing into it? I was just like, thank God that is finally over. And then, they get a 10-day extension to resume their activities because there's 10 days left. I was like...
Yeah, because everyone's going to be dead. So, I mean, again, it didn't need to happen. This meeting didn't need to exist. Like, it was pointless. This episode was pointless.
And then, I think this happened before, but in my notes, because I was writing more about the stuff, former Russian spy girl finds that pill she found in Skinner's home a long, long time ago, and they decide to analyze it. And it turns out it's for someone who has an artificial heart. Finally, they're getting clues that might lead somewhere. I didn't believe it would lead anywhere, but, we'll get that into a minute. And then, of course...
Well, because it never does. Every clue that they've tracked down so far has been for nothing.
Yep.
Don't believe it.
Then, of course, the test for the assassin comes into play, and he ends up just murdering, a couple dozen army guys, which I mean, they're army guys, but, they weren't
By
Marines.
the way, excuse me, hey now.
You're an all-star?
Oh, boy.
First off, I didn't understand why a test was necessary.
If they're contacting him because they've heard about how great he is, I was wondering the same thing. This guy, it's like, okay, well, he will definitely do a test if you want him to. You're contacting him. You're like the head of some governmental agency. You hear about this, assassin who can go in and do all this work, but you don't know for sure. You have to let him murder some of your guys to do it.
And also, 10 days left. Why do we care? Why are you just now trying to hire an assassin to kill this dude when, as far as you know, he'll just croak in 10 days anyway? Like, what is the point? I know that I keep asking that, but I truly want to know. So many times, so many things in this show, what is the point? Why? Why did you feel this was a necessary element in your show? At this point, it might have made more sense if you would have introduced this plot point in the first episode, and then this assassin could be on their tail through each episode, and we get to watch as they, fail at, you can still keep that part in where none of their work actually amounts to anything, but in the background you always see this assassin, and he's getting ever so closer and ever so closer. That would have been kind of cool. But no, it was just like...
You're right. They should have built it in right after he escaped, because he's escaped so many times. They want to kill him. And you find out that for whatever reason, because we now know he was like patient zero who took the Hapna before anyone else, maybe you find out he's the key to the cure in some way. And if this assassin kills him, it kills every human. So there's bigger stakes about it. But no, he escapes a lot. Let's kill him.
Yeah. It's like... And we keep doing this, Dave. I see that smile on your face. I think you've realized that too. Every time we talk about these episodes, we always find a way to, like, if we had written it, that's what it would be.
We're always going back to the editing room. It should be the writer's room. You know, on this show, it would be the writer's room.
Yeah, it's definitely
It's
back
like
to
you
the
had a
writers.
good idea, but here's what you should have done. You know, all show long.
They really did themselves a disservice by writing it in, and not, of course, not telling anybody, but having it where everybody's just so chill all the time. It's like it's hard to watch it because you're like, you don't believe that there's 10 days left. You don't believe that anything is really happening that is supposedly happening because nobody really cares that much. They're kind of like, we're searching for him. Cool. Hey, we just killed, like 20 soldiers testing this assassin guy out who we contacted to run a job. Okay. He knows
That's
what
the
he's
other
doing.
thing.
Okay, let's send him out.
So, I think I'm pretty sure most people know if the U.S. government wants somebody eliminated, they've got people to do that. They don't have to hire from the outside. They do not need a contractor for this. I promise you they've got people.
They definitely do.
And they certainly don't need to test their guys on their own guys.
Yeah, that's right. They could have sent in some mercenaries or something and not. But they're all going to die in like 10 days anyway, so it's fine. They got them out of there early.
And again, my point, if everyone's going to die in 10 days anyway, why are you after parkour guy?
Yeah, all he's really done is escape from prison.
Yeah.
And for the most part, except for one time that I remember, he doesn't shoot people. He always just like uses his fists,
Kicks and punches, and yeah.
So he's not like a mass murderer or anything.
I don't even remember what was his original offense. I know he said it, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, and his original offense was only for 3 years too. So
yeah, and then he said that every time he escaped, they doubled it.
Yeah, I can't remember what his first offense was either.
Stealing bread? I don't know.
Something dumb, I'm sure. And then I also like how they mention, which I don't think this is how it works. They mention that he's been in every prison in the United States. I'm like, I don't think that's how that works. I don't think they just keep moving you state to state.
They certainly do not. And if you were in every prison, that would mean minimum security, federal, state prisons. Why are they moving him around so much?
He's going for the record.
That's right.
He's going for the record.
If I escape from one more prison, I get the T-shirt.
Right.
I don't have to wear that orange one day. I can wear a T-shirt. It's so cool.
He hops over the barbed wire fence. I forgot to get them to punch my card.
Now I got to go back.
Right.
But then this episode ends with 10 days left. It's really
So
getting
dramatic.
down to the nitty-gritty.
Is it though?
No, it's not. I was my sarcasm didn't come through as much as I wanted it to in that statement.
I'm so over the manufactured timeline because again, I know we said this in the last stream, but like you were the one, the creators, writers, producers, whatever, you guys were the ones that decided we need this limited time frame. We're going to show at the end of every episode how many days are left, but it could be any number. It really doesn't matter. It could say 82 days later. It could say 436. It's never going to matter. At least not yet. Maybe in the last episode it might.
In the last episode when everybody dies and narrator guy goes, I guess we're not really loose ends. There won't be a season 2.
I just wanted you all to know that before I die.
I had to say it out
over
loud so you guys all understood.
Yes. I wanted to
He'll
make it
look over
real.
at a parkour guy and be like, so, how about that date?
I'll see you in hell.
But then we
No
get
one
to
said
episode.
absolutely.
Then we get to episode 10. Oh wait, did you say it? Yeah.
Oh,
I did.
We get to episode 10. I Can't Tell You Why, which is an Eagles song from the album The Long Run.
Good song.
Yeah, it's
Hit that falsetto, Keith.
Yeah, yeah, Keith. I don't remember how that song goes. Can you remind me?
Couldn't sing it if I tried.
Oh,
But you should try.
I should do or do not.
right. And which one?
So, hospitals begin reporting surges in patients suffering from high fevers,
Oh,
prompting the government to issue a warning: stay indoors. Because there's 6 days left till everybody dies. Stay indoors, people. Don't touch the grass. Don't go out and see anything. Stay indoors.
Yep.
is
Because
okay.
in 6 days, you definitely want it within 4 walls somewhere.
Yep.
Maybe that's the theme. Maybe that's what they're actually trying to get across in this show. It's not about, people being laissez-faire, taking drugs, or, global warming. I think the theme of this show is the United States is stupid, and everybody who runs it is stupid.
Doug, I think you're giving them too much credit, as we always do.
We've got 6 days left. Stay indoors. Okay.
Okay.
Don't come to the
not gonna
hospitals
listen.
with a fever because the hospitals are full.
Yep.
Yeah, now, if you're a doctor and there's 6 days left to live, are you spending time with your family, or are you trying to cure a guy who's got a fever?
See, that's what I'm saying. The timeline doesn't make sense, and it doesn't matter because I think I might have mentioned this show before, but there is another show called Carol and the End of the World. And it shows it's another animated series. It's about how everybody is dealing with finding out that there's a comet headed towards Earth, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. They can't stop it. They can't prevent it. So it shows all these different characters and how they're dealing with it. Some people are getting into relationships with people that they never thought they had a chance to. Other people are going on cruises until the comet hits. Other people are just kind of like hanging out with their family. There's this one group where they celebrate Christmas every day just because it's their favorite holiday and they get to spend time with their family. So it's showing how all these different people are dealing with it, and it feels more accurate to show a world that is on the verge of, total destruction where everybody's going to die. This show, where Carol and the End of the World, they never really ended each episode by showing like, hey, this is how much time we've got left. Lazarus, where they're constantly reminding you how long everybody has left, they're not using it. They're not using it to its potential because nobody is really acting like, and I get the Hopna thing, but still, even regardless of that, nobody is acting like the world is about to end.
I just wonder in that show, if people are taking cruises, why are the cruise workers still working on the cruises?
Some of them just enjoy it.
Okay.
That's what the explanation was. The captain of the ship said, I don't have any family or friends. Everybody that works on the cruise ship is my family. Where else am I going to go?
Nice. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. Sounds like a much better show than what we are dealing with right now.
It's a pretty darn good show. I mean, kind of. It takes some warming up to because Carol she's on Hopna.
See, that's okay for someone to be lackadaisical like that. Maybe not show a lot of emotion. But when everybody does it and it's like a 24 episode, that's when it gets like someone's being chill. Totally cool. But when everybody is and you're like being fed this, there's only so much to live. Everyone's going to die. And everyone's just like, hey, do you guys want to see this pill I found? Where did you get that pill?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, let's
Check
analyze
this
it.
out.
I bet it was in
I'm
her
gonna do it right now.
clothes.
I'm gonna do it.
Why are we just now finding out about this laugh, joke?
Yeah.
And in this episode where the tech girl, what's her? I don't even know her name. I don't care.
Hacker girl.
Hacker girl.
Well, I have to go wherever this is. I have to go see that popcorn lady or whatever that.
Oh yeah. I was curious about that. Like, I must have missed something.
You did.
I remember the episode where Popcorn Hacker, whatever it's called, was the one who was hacking into the whole fake doctor event, and then they were trying to hack the hacker, and then they hacked each other, and oh my gosh, hack me harder, daddy. I guess I don't know what the hell was going on, but what does Popcorn Hacker have to do with the Dr. Skinner?
I think Hacker
Were they
Girl
related?
thinks, but they're not, because remember, Popcorn Fury or whatever her name was, Popcorn Firecracker, was checking out to see if that cure was legit.
Yes.
Was she doing that for Skinner? I don't think so. I don't think Skinner cares.
I don't know. They never, if that's the case, they never established that.
No.
And she implied in this episode, that Popcorn Hacker was the one monitoring Skinner's fake heart, which was that established? Do we know that?
It was never
nothing was
established.
Is this another one of the things like how
It's a fringe
Haka is
theory.
affecting everybody that the director knows and none of us know unless we do some research online or something?
Probably.
It's
It
like
certainly
they want to
seems
have
that
the upper brow. They want to have the high brow where look this. We showed you tiny little hints along the way, and they really haven't showed us tiny little hints along the way. Because you learn from those and you build on them. They're not building on anything. It's frustrating. I'm sorry.
No, you're right, Dave. Nothing to be sorry about. They throw these things at us, and even I was like, okay, were they implying that when she was hacking in to get the cure that they faked, was she working for Skinner to see that if it was a real cure? Because I don't think Skinner would care. Skinner isn't like, he knows nobody's going to create a cure. He's not worried about that. He knows the only way to save people, because he's the Einstein of this show. The only way for them to save people is to find him, because he has the cure. There's not enough time for anyone to make a cure since he's made this announcement. So why would he send the best hacker in the world to hack this program to see if the cure was real when Skinner knows darn well it wasn't real?
Right.
Of course he knows.
Plot holes.
Just so silly.
So the official wiki page for it literally just lists what we know about her. It says Popcorn Wizard is a side character of Lazarus. She's one of the top 3 hackers in the world, and she's located in Pakistan. That's it.
So maybe that's why
all it says.
maybe that's why she thinks it's Popcorn Wizard, because it's in Pakistan, and they knew she was in Pakistan from the other hack, because it was from the the Dow Jones or the Wall Street building in Pakistan, which has such great internet.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? This actually does make sense now. Follow my logic.
Yes, yeah, no, I get it.
Follow my logic. You mentioned in the previous episode, in episode 9, that narrator guy came to the conclusion that they had a mole, and that Drone Boy was the mole because he has 2 cell phones, and that was all the evidence that he needed. So if that is their level of evidentiary requirement, then girl is in Pakistan is apparently all Hacker Girl needs.
No. You know what?
You
So-
can't prove that.
That's
It
all I
fits.
got.
No, it fits. You're right. You're not wrong.
It fits with the writing style. Like, everybody is stupid. that's all I got. That was the true thing. Happening isn't killing everybody. It's killing their brain cells is what it's doing. That's what's happening here.
But it's only killing the weakest brain cells. It's like when the lions thin the gazelle herd. They're only catching the weakest gazelles to eat. So the herd is stronger after. That was an old Cheers joke when John Ratzenberger says, yeah, someone's like, you're killing brain cells drinking all that beer. And he goes, yeah, but it's only the weakest brain cells. It's like when the lions thin out the gazelle herd. I'm actually becoming smarter by killing off the weaker brain cells. But we now know Skinner must have an artificial heart because he had this medication that he
Yeah.
thankfully let one slip between his couch cushion, and former Russian spy girl just happened to put her hand in it and pull out this pill and find it.
It was actually Rose Sparks.
It was just.
I mean,
A Viagra.
oh god, imagine if that's what it was. Like, I wonder what this is. And then
Well, he does have an artificial heart. He's going to need the Viagra.
yeah, there. Okay, there you go. Good one, Dave. That's great. What? Yeah, again, following the same theme.
Now all I can think about
I
is him.
found pill.
They find him and he just pops a Viagra and he's like, all right.
Yeah, that's the cure. I'm
Let's
sorry,
go.
what? All right, come on. Got a whole world. Let's go.
But once again, we break ground in this episode because we find out that Drone Boy is super rich and he can find this secret hospital that only works on the super rich and keeps secrets from everybody else. They don't share their records. So he puts on some weird outfit, and Drone Boy, narrator, and I almost called him Hopscotch. I'm going to call him Hopscotch Boy from now on. He's no longer parkour. Hopscotch Boy go to his home. And man, we get such good history on him. He's an illegitimate child of a super rich guy, and his sister's mad at him because he left and never came back. She hates how the world is run by men because she should have, and she hates all the suitors that they try to set her up with, and she's mad. But then we find out, I really just want to spend some time with you, brother.
They did what every great series strives to do, Keith. They performed the most difficult storytelling device of tell us, don't show us.
The thing I can say. Oh, what I can say about this
Today,
show
Junior.
is
Tut today.
it could have been just somebody reading a book to you. So far, this whole series, you could have just been reading a book. I mean, the animation. Actually, these 2 episodes, I thought got back to the other level. I thought it was pretty good. But as far as everything else, with the narration for anything you might have missed. And then you don't really even have to watch it when it's happening. You can just hear what they're saying and know what's going on. It's disappointing.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, and then
The way the two of them were talking to each other, I get that. So on one hand, I understand that they haven't seen each other in 3 years, as they make sure that we all know. But then they have to. It was like they remembered the last minute. Wait, did we give Leland a backstory? No. Shit. Okay, just have him tell his sister his own backstory that she already knows, but we'll make it work somehow. We'll make it sound like this is a normal conversation for 2 people who already know each other to have with each other. Yes, sister, you remember how our father never spent any time with me and how I also have an illegitimate mother? Yes, I remember how our father died and you didn't go to his funeral, and also how your mother was his mistress. Yes, this is a normal conversation that brother and sister have with each other.
And our other brother died, so you are now head of the household.
Yeah.
So if you want to know
that's
the
right.
secret
Our brother
hospital,
and our father both are dead.
if you want to know the secret hospital for the filthy rich, you will take your place at the head of this family, and all those secrets will be yours. I don't want to do it. Okay, here it is.
Again.
Yeah.
Again. Adding to the pile of things that do not matter because we literally have a week before everybody is dead. We need you to be the head of the family. Motherfucker, why? Why? What's going to happen to the family in 7 days?
You know what would happen if my brother came back and there was 6 days to live and I was part of, like, the head of a super rich family? I would be buying rhinoceroses from the zoo and like riding them around the front lawn and stuff. I mean, there'd be rhino fights out in the parking lot.
I mean, might as well.
And they're just like,
Got nothing to lose.
did you clean the china today, Jeeves? Well, yes, I did. It is sparkling. Oh, good. When we all die, I want to make sure that someone says, that fine china sure was sparkling.
You did your job. Oh, boy.
But then, shockingly, we get to the hospital. And, of course, the doctor just, loves Drone Boy.
Really nice.
And
for a doctor who only practices on the super wealthy, she seemed really nice and chill.
the Hapna.
Oh, okay. That's our
Yeah,
explanation for everything.
Yep. If they're going to use it, we're going to use it.
Yes,
Gee,
sir.
why is this doctor who charges billions of dollars and will only treat the super wealthy? Why is she just so nice? Oh, drugs. Sure.
Yeah, I did laugh a little bit when she's like, "Oh, cancel the rest of my appointments for the day." They're probably just wanting to know about a Hapna cure anyway. I'm rich.
Well,
why is she canceling my appointment?
There's 6 days left. Why are they even having appointments?
Again! Add it to the pile.
Rhinoceros fights outside the house.
Yeah, just inside the moat that I dug the other day.
I don't think I would dig a moat with 6 days left.
Why not?
That's a little too much work. You know, maybe if I could find a bulldozer or something to dig it, but I ain't digging it myself. No way. But, of course, she does. Yes, he had an artificial heart put in. And there's ways to monitor it. But his went offline right away, guys. Right away after he did it.
Also, other part of that conversation, she says all cheekily, "I was wondering when someone would ask me about that."
Yeah.
Mother, are you kidding me? I
Yeah,
needed
5
somebody
days
to look
left.
at her and say, I'm sorry, you knew? You had this information and you told no one. I'm sorry, but HIPAA be damned? Like, you're a monster. You know that, right?
Hey, she still can't give that information out. It's HIPAA law. She can't share that with anybody.
Yeah, because no
just
one
like
would
we
be
need to
going to be
hire
like,
an outside assassin to kill a dude.
"Hey, I might have a way to find this guy."
God.
So here it is. Instead, oh, so glad you guys finally asked. It went offline right away, and we don't know how to track it. But here's a thumb drive. It's how
I just
it all
so
works.
happened to. Right.
Go have Hacker Girl check it out. I'm sure she'll break through the code and be able to track it. Oh, thank you, Dr. Lady.
Yeah. Speaking of Hacker Girl, before they even go to this rich person doctor, I like how, again, in this world where we have established that this doctor clearly, either she just, loves it for the game or she really, really respects HIPAA laws, but Hacker Girl is somehow able to hack her way into the databases of apparently every hospital that Skinner could have gone to.
Yes, she's good.
Because she
Hey,
brings them
she's
on
the best.
all of her giant monitors. She's got all these different screens that pop up, and it says is a second after they all appear on her screen. Nope, there's nothing here. He didn't go to any of these hospitals.
Doug, did you not see her 3 keyboards?
Oh, she did type super fast. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And she has 6 eyes. You just can't see them.
Because everybody knows when you have a medical record, at the top it says, "No artificial heart surgery was done on this guy." You don't have to dig through the files or anything.
Yeah. Says this is not the file you're looking for. Right on.
It's a good thing that every hospital in the world is all on the same network, too. It definitely makes things much easier.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
You never have to go to a doctor's office, and you never have to, hear somebody say, okay, do you have your record? Do you have a copy of your records with you? Or have you told your other doctor to transfer them over? That doesn't happen because everybody shares the same computer network that one hacker can easily break into somehow.
Doug, she's one of the top 3 hackers in the world.
No, right. Top 3 hacker. Yeah, okay.
So it was just pure skill. Your average hacker can only get into 1/3 of the hospitals on the planet. She could get into them all.
She could even break into the intranet you have within your.
She didn't know what an internet was, so.
But
She
then,
doesn't know what it is, but she's the top 3 hacker in the world.
and I have to ask you guys this, because they go back to that terrorist incident. The terrorist incident that happened at the airport where we find out that Skinner was taking a prototype,
Oh, yeah.
trying to steal it, and there was a standoff between airport guys and military guys, and his suitcase got punctured, and it was murdering people. that, like, them coming back to it like it was some big tidbit for us. I was like, I don't care. How is this
when
going
did
to
they say this all happened? Did they say this happened before Happened was released or something?
Yeah. It happened before it was released, and 30 days later after that incident he came back and had Hapna all ready to go or something.
And nobody put two and two together.
No.
Cool.
Yeah. I was like,
Good. Maybe the world should end.
Honestly, it should. It's time for these people to go because
Yeah. This version of Earth not working out. I think even Superman and Batman, they're just like, they're looking at the Watchtower, keeping an eye on the multiverse, and like, actually, you know what, that's fine. That one can go. We don't really need to save that one.
Excuse me, Anti-Monitor. You can go get Earth 737. That's fine. Yeah, take it out. They're not needed anyway.
It's bringing down the curve of everybody else. I mean,
have you guys ever heard the theory that, like, throughout human history, there have been periods where the stupid people all rose up and killed all the smart people?
Yeah.
That's something that's going to happen on this show.
Yeah, there was a movie about it. It was called Idiocracy.
Yeah, I mean that's a theory that that might have really happened. We don't know. All we know is what's been written in a book, and we don't know who wrote it. Same as this show. Might as well just be reading it out of a book.
Well, then the show does what it always does. It takes the fact that they have footage of Skinner with this prototype, and all of a sudden that links to the prison that Hopscotch Boy was in, and they find out he was, a prototype prisoner that tried it. And I'm like, where did that leap of logic come? I'm watching it and I'm like, wait, how did they make that connection? What is going on with this show? That all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, and guess who was there? Hopscotch Willie. He got it. Everyone else is dead. And I'm like, dear God, this show, please be over soon.
Again, if you did your research before hiring this guy, isn't this something you should have already known about him?
No one's doing research these days on those days.
What's happening here?
We're looking for the guy who created this drug, but we're not digging into anywhere it's been used or, any of the things going on. They're just, going to Reuben shops and baklava.
And baklava grandmas.
Yeah. I'm just so annoyed by this show. Like, I sit there and I watch sometimes and I'm like, am I being overly critical? And then I'm glad that you guys are like, yeah, it is just silly to the core.
And don't take this as a dig because this isn't the intent, but generally you're a little bit more forgiving of most of the things that we watch. And even you are finding the flaws in it. So that says something. That says that even if you can't find the silver lining on this, that's pretty damn bad.
That's funny because I when we first started the show, I thought I was being hard on it. And then the first two reviews, you guys both reviewed lower than I did. So you got to know this is not a good show. It's not just us.
No, I feel that way when I'm watching it sometimes. I just think to myself, am I being overly critical? So it's nice when you guys are like, no, you're not. I'm like, okay, good. Because sometimes little things will bug people that don't bug other people. So I'm sure there's people out there that like the show, but I don't.
Now, if you would have said this show is bad because the hacker is a girl, then it would have been like, okay, now you're being overly critical and possibly over drinking.
Oh, and a girl runs it, totally woke.
Yeah, it's woke.
So woke.
Why don't they just have a gay robot?
Oh, that's next episode.
Oh yeah, bring in another character, a main character this late in the season. That's what they should do. That'd be a great idea, I think.
Wait, hold on. That's basically Doug, the narrator guy. He's the gay robot.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. But they end up sending Hopscotch Willie to find the other sole survivor of the trial, which is the doctor. So he's, heading out. And of course, Elena discovers the artificial heart is being monitored from Pakistan. Just so happens where Popcorn Wizard works out of. And she demands that narrator takes her with him. And it's so funny. He's like, my favorite line, it could be dangerous. Who cares? We have 6 days to live.
Right?
End it early for me. Good God.
Right. The normal cadence they're putting into things without putting any sense of urgency on anything is just it's annoying.
Oh, what are you doing, hacker girl? You putting on a bulletproof vest? No, it's a dynamite vest. I figure, why? Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good point.
Hacker girl, what are you doing? We're getting ready to go to Pakistan to see if we can find Skinner and possibly save everyone in the world. I was just looking up what the song was at the end of that Sylvester Stallone arm wrestling movie. I swear it was a Sammy Hagar song, but Drone Boy was telling me it was, So I just got to know. We got 6 days. It's all right. I need to know.
Is this tying into our search at all? No. Great, cool. Let's spend time on that then.
Did you, hacker girl? Did you not see the Pentagon hearing that we had? We got to stick to finding Skinner. I just got to know what song it was. I cannot live without knowing what song this was.
You're the best around.
Actually, the funny thing is, I know what song it is. It is Sammy Hagar. It's Winner Takes It All. And you're probably wondering.
I knew it was Sammy Hagar. I had a feeling after you said that.
You're probably wondering. That sounds like a weird thing to wonder, but back in the day, when I was in college, we didn't have the internet all over the place. We could go to the computer lab at school and get on the internet and look up some stuff. But we were enjoying some drinks and maybe some other things, and we did get an argument of what song was at the end of it. I can't remember the name, but the Sylvester Stallone arm wrestling movie. So we did what over the top. Thank you, Dave. We did what anyone would do. And with 10 minutes before they closed, we called the local Blockbuster to see if they would put in Over the Top, fast forward to the end, and let us hear the song. She did.
I mean, that does make sense. That sounds like something that, I would have done pre-internet because, that's how you had to find out information. That wow, boy, you're basically a super hacker.
It was funny because the girl working there did it for us. Because she's like, why don't you just come up tomorrow and rent it? I'm like, you don't understand. We need to know tonight.
We need to know now.
We can't get up there in time to rent it for ourselves. Can you please? And she's like, yeah, fine, whatever. And I was like, oh my God, it worked. It worked, you guys. We're finally figuring it out. But back to this wonderful show. It was Winner Takes It All by Sammy Hagar. And unlike the Eagles song from earlier, I will sing it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. But so, hacker girl, narrator, heading off to Pakistan. Hopscotch Willie is heading to find this doctor that is the sole survivor besides him of this thing. And what happens? Assassin Boy is blowing things up on the road, and he comes up to Hopscotch Willie's car. 6 days left.
Yeah.
When it ended,
I'm compelled.
my first thought was, I hope they kill him. Because that would at least add a little drama to it. Oh, a main character got killed. Okay, cool. That's something. Still wouldn't help the show, but I was like, I hope he's victorious, and I hope he is needed for part of the cure because of that.
Well, I'm about to burst your bubble a little bit.
I know.
I watched Rick and Morty last night, and because they've got to show previews of the next episode as part of the commercial block.
Oh yeah.
Since they both air on the same channel. They showed him in a hospital bed, so unfortunately, he's probably able to hopscotch his way out of this mess.
Oh, God. Well, that's too bad.
I know, right? That's too bad. Oh man, they didn't kill the main.
Uh,
Wait, is he still the main character?
the crying shame. He's the one
I
who's
don't.
got the most backstory so far.
Yeah, but I mean, there are whole chunks of episodes where he's not even in
Yeah.
it. So I mean, like, I know he's supposed to be like the spike of this show, but I feel like narrator guy is more of a main character. Drone Boy is more of a main character at this point.
Hacker Girl is more of a main
Yeah.
character. She does get a lot of screen time. She's always in all the little different things. But yeah, you know what? It's funny. I didn't think about that, but you're right. They kind of set him up after that first episode. He's the main character because he got that whole almost first episode
Yep.
escaping and stuff, and then okay, we caught you. So he was the last minute add to the group. So he's gonna be, our eyes into this group, and they've.
Yeah, he's going to be the maverick.
Yeah.
He's going to be. Yeah, but no,
Yeah.
missed opportunity.
Again, like everything else, doesn't really go anywhere. No point to it.
Which we were right about one thing. We did say the pill she found, the plant in the Baklava grandma's place, they're all going to come back to play. But it took them, 6 episodes to get back to the pill?
Yeah,
And
pretty
that
much.
was the key to kind of finding him. What if she's this
She
great
also
Russian
says-
spy? Why would she forget that? That would be something.
Right?
It may
That was
not mean
that was
anything.
the best part. Not only the fact that she forgot, but they all guess. They're like, "You forgot, didn't you?" As if she has done this multiple times to the point where they know this is a character trait of her, that she has done this. No wonder she's not a Russian spy anymore. They probably fired her. Like, you
Would
are
she
the
be on
worst
an-
spy ever.
Right? Would she be on an elite team anywhere?
But of course, they've shown her being absent-minded and forgetful all through. Oh wait, no, they haven't.
No,
No,
they
that's
didn't,
right.
no.
They've never once set that up as one of her. Again, they had to tell us that this is something that she does instead of at some point showing us. And they're like, "Oh, it was probably in your loose clothes, wasn't it?" Yeah.
Oh my God, how did you know? Because I'm the head of an aristocratic family that has multiple $billion, and I'm here with you trying to find this guy instead of the rhinoceros fights that my sister
Right.
is scheduling as we speak.
And by the way, if we all live through this, I don't want any part of my family's $1 billion. I just want to be left alone so I can fly my drone. Hey, that rhymed.
Dave is a poet.
You're a poet and you didn't know it.
All right.
But yeah, it ended on a cliffhanger, so we know we'll actually get something in the next episode that correlates to this episode, but
Yeah.
not really looking forward to it. It was like, you don't care enough about Hopscotch Willie to care if he gets killed by an assassin. There's no drama, there's no stakes. It just doesn't matter. And how a show can bring its audience to that. When you were telling us, man, no one's really talking about this show online, and I don't know why and stuff. We know
Now I think
why.
I know why.
It's hard to care.
It really is. It is very difficult to care because, like, I thought for sure this is an underground hit. This is going to be amazing. I mean, it's made by the same people that made Cowboy Bebop, and they can tell a hell of a good story, do some world building, character building. We praised that show endlessly for what an amazing job it did, and they also knew when to cut it off. He didn't, milk it for all it was worth and like do a whole bunch of spin-offs and keep it going and make it go on seasons and seasons endlessly. They got in, they told a good story that all connected with each other, and then they ended it. And that's it. I'm starting to wonder, was this like his one hit wonder?
Yeah.
And now everything else that he's going to make is just going to be terrible.
He only had so much juice in the cup. That was it. It all spilled
I
out.
guess.
Cowboy Bebop.
Which is too bad.
Yeah.
Should we rate these episodes, gentlemen?
Yes, and then oh no, yeah, we it still won't be the last time, damn it. But
Huh.
let's go ahead. Um, I don't. I'm trying to think positive things to say. I did, like I said a minute ago, I thought the animation was back up. I love the way that car looks on that screen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the way it moves. I thought that some of the scenes with them talking was a little bit smoother. Plot holes everywhere, as we've all discussed. And the worst part is like if I'm sitting here, I don't even turn it on. I got a TV right next to me over here. I don't even put it on the TV to watch. I just keep it on the computer screen because I just don't. I don't feel like I need. It's not a visual, um, you know, event. You don't need to see it. I mean, the animation's nice, but it's like if you're just listening to it, you're gonna get exactly what you need. That's what I mean about it being like read to you out of a book, and especially with our narrator in there to help fill in the gaps if you weren't paying attention anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, I can't wait for it to be over. So I'm gonna give these two a 2.5.
Wow. Okay. Holy crap.
Yeah. Sorry, Mr. Watanabe.
See, these episodes are being weighed down, not because they're just bad, but because everything has been bad leading up to it. And I've been trying to find some positives. The only positive in that entire first episode was when the assassin was fighting like the army guys for his test. Like that was some pretty cool action, some cool animation. I was like, that was pretty well done. I kind of liked how they handled it. It was really cool. He had the metronome going, and I was like, is that a bomb? And I really enjoyed that scene. But the entire rest of that first episode was god awful, not needed, and just went nowhere. And the big twist meant nothing. It was just a waste of time. This entire episode, except for that last 2.5 minutes, was an absolute waste of time. And yes, I said it. And then 10 kind of starts off, and we start talking about, oh, everyone's starting to get high fevers and stuff, and the government's warning people to stay indoors. I'm like, okay, this is starting to take effect. Maybe we're going to get, a little deeper into this episode. But no, it just turns into another Lazarus episode where, oh, we need to find this special hospital because we figured out that clue from 8 episodes ago was actually for someone with an artificial heart, so he must have one. But there's no records of it, so we'll find this super secret hospital. And of course, she has all the answers and gives them every clue they need to find it. It's not like they're doing anything special on their own. They're just finding the right people to tell them stuff. And I watch it, and the most emotion this show got out of me was at the end when the assassin is approaching Hopscotch Willie, and I'm like, I hope he kills him. I hope they shock me with a main character death in the next episode. That's all I could. I'm like, I hope they do it, but it sounds like that's not going to happen. And it's hard to find positive things. Like I really struggle mightily to not look at my phone while I'm watching these episodes or doing anything else. Like I could hear a scratch upstairs, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if there's a chipmunk on my porch. I'm gonna go look instead of watching this show. So I'm going to give episodes 9 and 10 a 3. I'm with Dave. It's not like at this point, I don't think there's anything they could do in the last 3 episodes to make it worth the time to watch this season.
No.
There's no way they could make the ending that good that it'd be worth watching again. And that makes me like, up until this point, I was like, they still might be able to save the season. They still might be able to save the season. But no more. There's no way they can save this season. It has been just a waste of our time, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately.
And Doug, before you give yours, can I just say one thing I forgot to say in mine? Was that if they were going to name all the shows after a song, they should at least play that song in the show. I mean, why even tie it to
They
the...
already don't care. Come on now.
okay. It just would have been a good idea. That's all I'm saying.
Good idea. I'm sorry. Okay. They just wanted mediocre ideas. They wanted clearly I know that I had made this like as a joke, but I'm starting to wonder if I was onto something when I said that this feels like something that they forced Watanabe to make. Like he was told, okay, do you want to do your passion project? You gotta shit out another Cowboy Bebop for us. Make that, and then you can do whatever you want. And it feels like he's just phoning this in, because it does not feel like anything else he's written or produced. This does not align with it. I mean, it looks pretty. It's a little shiny on the outside, but underneath that, it's bad. And even the cool scenes, like what Keith pointed out, where you've got the, assassin starting the metronome and using the knife attached to the wire and, taking out all these soldiers and finding all these interesting ways to, like, use them against each other. And even that is, like, just a bit of a sheen on top of, like, rusted metal. It's just covering up all of the crap underneath. Because when you think about it, like, as we were going through this review, it's still pointless at the end of the day. Like, it was still a pointless situation that never needed to happen. And one of my biggest complaints throughout this has been the unnecessary addition of this limited time frame. This, oh my God, we've only got 30 days. And they're not making it seem like it matters at all. So then they decide, okay, obviously people aren't being threatened by this whole 30-day time limit. Well, duh, because you're not treating it with importance. We better tack something else on. And they do this grand reveal. Oh, Skinner's going to be the first one to die. So not only do you literally only have 30 days in total to find him, that is it. That is the end. You can't, like, a couple of people are going to start dropping dead, and then you still have, like, another week or a couple of months. They're basically saying there's probably little to no chance there's going to be a second season unless they find some compelling way to drive the story forward. But as far as I can tell, they're either going to find Skinner or not. I mean, that's it. That's what we've basically boiled down to.
That's good, Doug. They're either going to find him or they're not.
Right? That's it. That's it. They're either going to find him or they're not. And they put this time frame, they put this constraint on themselves unnecessarily, because nobody in this entire world is treating it like this is a static time frame that we have to work within. You've got the U.S. government, Department of Defense holding a meeting to determine, is Lazarus doing a good enough job? I mean, no, they're not, but is this meeting necessary?
What's going to happen if you fund them all the way up until the last day and they don't get it done? Nothing changes.
And again, yes, another point, Dave, even if they were to fund them up until the last, money is meaningless at this point. All of the things that everybody is doing and supposedly caring about doesn't matter. I think the only time that this show has made it seem like the world is truly ending is when they went to go visit Grandma Baklava, and they stopped by the I guess homeless village or whatever it was, and everybody's just like, oh well, we're doing whatever the hell we want. The world's ending. What are you gonna do? It's like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. You're all just like doing your thing. I'm surprised you're not breaking into houses, but you're doing your thing. You're whatever. But it's like everything that they do in this show is, I think you put it best, Keith. It's like just crushed down by all of the previous episodes, and also just its overall incompetence. It is not good storytelling. They just bring up random stuff as if they've written themselves into a corner. My favorite so far being, okay, we forgot about that pill that she found. What is it going to do? It's a heart pill. And he kind of, yeah, for an artificial heart pill. So Skinner got an artificial heart. Oh, but wait, hold on. if they were smart, they would have tracked down medical records and they would know that he had gotten a heart replacement. Right. Okay. He went to a special rich person doctor. Cool. That's great. Wait, how do they get in? Fuck. Drone Boy is rich.
Yeah. Very and then.
I mean, seriously, it is the dumbest writing I think I have ever seen. It's literally, what do? We've written ourselves into a... They did it to themselves. They are doing this to themselves.
They're doing it to us, too.
Yes. And they're trying their damnedest to get themselves out of these corners they've written themselves into, but it's all pointless. Everything, every bit of this seems pointless. And every time they try to add more lore around Skinner and Hopna and, now this BS that, I guess Hopscotch Boy is now somehow important because he got the proto Hopna or something. I don't know, and I don't care. But every single decision that everybody is making does not fit with the constraints that they put on this show. Nobody should be hiring assassins to kill anybody if everyone's going to die. Nobody should be worrying about where funding is going if money is pointless and everyone is going to die. Nobody should be stopping the only team that is trying to prevent everyone from dying if everyone is going to die. I mean, God, we could have written a better show. That is how bad this is. That us three hacks could have made this better. So, I'm with you guys. Like, friggin', I don't know, 2.5 out of 10. It's stupid. I don't care. And honestly, I don't really want to keep watching this because I don't think it's going to get better. I don't see it becoming a reverse Game of Thrones where suddenly the end makes up for, a shitty rest of the season. But I don't know. Maybe fingers crossed it's going to all reveal it in the end and we're going to get like flashbacks of things we should have noticed. I don't know.
That would take a lot to pull that off.
They're playing the long game. They're playing the long game, man.
I don't know. Popcorn Wizard is friggin' Skinner's daughter. Who knows? I don't care.
Oh my God, that's probably right too.
It probably is. Because it's such hacky, terrible writing. It's just so bad. 2.5 out of 10.
Excellent.
It's still not quite as bad as Rebel Moon, but it's really getting there. It is getting there for me.
It is true. It is not as bad as Rebel Moon, but you're right. It's dangerously close.
Because that was another thing about Rebel Moon. Like, there were a lot of scenes that it looked kind of pretty. I'll give credit where it's due. Zack Snyder can make something look nice. He cannot storytell worth a damn, but he can make it look like some of those slow-mo scenes where she was farming in slow-mo for no apparent reason looked pretty damn cool.
I thought you were going to say farting in slow-mo.
She probably did that too. I don't know. I didn't watch part 2, so I couldn't tell you. Or the director's cuts. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's definitely the director's cut. Yeah, I'm sure of it.
It probably is. All right. It's
probably the best part.
That's where she farts.
That was right after the sirens were singing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, gentlemen. We're done with Lazarus.
Thank you.
Forever?
Not forever. We have 3 episodes left to watch. We'll be reviewing episode 11 this Thursday.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back to review 12 and 13 after sometime in July. I can't remember the date now.
You know what's going to be like really rough about that? It's the fact that we've had 2 episodes to base these reviews on, and like nothing happens in them. So reviewing 2 episodes is kind of like reviewing one single episode. God, this Thursday is going to be weird because we're only going to have 1 episode of nothing to talk about.
We're going to talk like 10 minutes and just
Right?
be like, good enough.
So
I will be
make sure
right back.
Make sure
Go ahead.
when you see that notification that we're going live, you tune in on Thursday because it'll be over before you know it.
Exactly.
We will figure out some other things to talk about because that will not take very long.
And watch it be the best
Watch it
episode.
be Yeah. Watch it be The Empire Strikes Back. Hey, look, we got the best viewers again.
I saw that. Thank you. It was so nice of Fear Zero to let us know that the best viewers are on boostpilot.ru. Man, we thought our viewers were the best, but I guess they're not. We got these guys.
I'm just glad. Yeah, I'm glad they're not the cheap viewers, you know?
Yep. Finally got out of that fun. Well, when Doug gets back, I'm going to talk the MCU stuff first, then we'll talk about all the DCU stuff, because James Gunn did have an interview in Rolling Stone where he talked a lot of things about a lot of stuff. And we'll talk about what's important to the DCU. He also had said that, Kevin Feige has not seen Superman yet. He talked about, what he thinks was the biggest problem with the MCU right now, which is what everyone says, their mandate to produce so many shows and movies just diluted the quality. I don't think anyone's disagreeing with that.
Hey, James Gunn was recently on Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. And it sounds like they were talking about the same kind of things.
Yep. Well, did you know that Michael Rosenbaum recorded some lines for Superman?
I knew he had something to do, but I didn't know what it was. Yes. I mean, James Gunn will get all of his buddies into a movie.
Yep. They'll find
He's
a
very
way.
good at that.
Uh-huh. All right. Are you guys ready for some rumors for Avengers Doomsday?
Run me down with them rumors, Daddy.
All right. Here we go. Part of the story of Avengers Doomsday will reportedly involve the tense relations between Wakanda and Tolokan. I'm like, oh, okay, nice. I mean, I'm glad that Namor is going to be in it.
Is he your friend at Namor?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Namor. I'm glad Namor's going to be in it, my buddy.
My buddy.
I saw that and I was like, how's that going to play into the story? Like, we're pretty sure that it's going to be kind of the world where Photon went to at the end of the Marvels with their X-Men characters and kind of the Avengers, because we saw the cast. I don't really know how this works in, or if it makes much sense. I don't know. But the other one is the one I'm excited for.
Something Wonder Man related, right?
It is not, unfortunately. I didn't say it was the greatest rumor of all time. I just said I'm pretty excited for it. Because this is another character that I really enjoy. Nightcrawler is going to use his signature swords in the movie, where he's holding two scimitars and has another one with his tail, much like the fight he had in
which
X-Men.
movie?
Doomsday. Is that what?
Doomsday, the one with like 300 characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. It's probably going to be in the background like an Endgame thing.
God, I hope not. Why do you have to bring me down, Doug?
Come on, Keith.
That when he was doing that in X-Men '97, that was so cool, and I was like, that's kind of nice. And Alan Cummings, who plays Nightcrawler, was talking about how therapeutic it is filming this because of how toxic it was on a set of X-Men 2 with Bryan Singer and all that stuff. So
yeah,
I'm happy that this is getting some therapy for them. I really hope it's a good movie. I hope Nightcrawler has some great
even
scenes.
if it's a terrible movie, at least they all had fun.
That's right.
All 8,000 of the characters are going to be in this stupid movie.
There was this one other channel that claimed to have the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
And they were playing.
Let me guess, was it Emergency Awesome?
No.
Oh, because usually they do that.
No, it wasn't one of them because I totally blocked them. It had to be on like Star Wars Theory or Den of Nerds, one of those. We have the first 10 minutes. And I've also heard, I don't know if you're done with the Marvel theory or rumors. I read a rumor that in Endgame, when they went back in time, that's when Tony realized that he was Doctor Doom. No, I read that and I'm like, that sounds like the stupidest crap I have ever read because even if he did realize it, he died. So what happened there? How is that? How would
I'm
that be?
sorry. I need some help navigating this rumor. Going back in time somehow revealed to Tony that he's Doctor Doom?
Yes, that was a theory, and I didn't even want to read farther into it.
I wish you
Okay.
would
I
have,
don't
because
even know
I
how that
want to
would
know
play
their
out.
logic for that. That I'm like,
Right.
how?
I'm attempting to assemble the puzzle in my brain. And I'm like, the puzzle's not puzzling. I don't get it.
If they do that, I will tell you right now, I will walk out of Doomsday while we're seeing
We
it
will
at the theater.
march at dawn.
Yes, we 100%
Torches
will.
lit, pitchforks in hand.
Like, I will be okay if they don't get too deep into why or Doctor Doom looks like Tony Stark or is Tony Stark variant. If they come up with some terrible, terrible rationale for it, I'm out. They just can't do that. But
Well, it was all the time travel, man, and then he touched the Tesseract, and then boom, he was all a different person. What?
Is that what happened? Okay.
Hmm.
okay, let's get into the James Gunn Rolling Stone interview.
Okay.
One of the things he talked about was Batman. And I really liked what he had to say because he's talking about bringing Batman into the DCU. And he's like, Batman has to have a reason for existing, right? He goes, Batman can't just be, we're making a Batman movie because Batman's the biggest character in all of Warner Brothers, which he is. He says, there's a need for him in the DCU and a need that he's not exactly the same as Matt's Batman. He goes, but I don't want him to be a campy Batman. I'm not interested in that at all. I'm not interested in a funny, campy Batman, so we're dealing with that. I think I have a way in, by the way. And then he goes on to say, I'm not writing Batman, but I'm working with the writer and trying to get it right.
You know what? That's probably a good idea because I feel like love James Gunn, love the movies he's made, but I feel like he would too easily fall back into, a more of Peacemaker, Guardians of the Galaxy kind of mindset and write characters
Star-Lord.
similar. But yeah, exactly. So I could see more of a quippy, funny, goofy Batman, not a rich orphan dealing with trauma still in his like 40s.
That's one thing Batman doesn't do is make quips.
He does not.
There was this one meme that I saw that kind of encompassed that on social media, and it was basically showing this is going to be Bruce Wayne in an old folks' home. My parents are dead, and one of the other old people is like, "Yeah, they all are. We're old."
And then
Because
he
that would
went.
be just like Bruce Wayne to still never be over his parents' death.
Well, I mean, seeing your parents shot in front of you as opposed to them dying in an old age home, little differences,
suppose.
subtle differences. But he did go on to say that the two top priorities right now for DC Studios is finishing the Wonder Woman and Batman scripts.
Okay.
So it sounds like those are moving along at a good clip. He did debunk a certain rumor that we have even talked about. They are not casting for the Teen Titans movie in the fall. Well, he did confirm that the script is being written by the lady who wrote the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow script. Casting is not being done this year. And he also said they're not currently in the process of casting the DCU Batman.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, have the script written first, then you can start casting. That's a perfectly reasonable fact or rumor or whatever you want to call it. I mean, that's how a movie should be made. You don't start what do we want, a Blade situation where we get the set built and we start casting the movie and then we look at the script and realize it's terrible.
This isn't going to work at all. Yeah, but and it's funny because they've kind of we had heard before we're not going to hear about any projects until the script is done, and they've kind of broken that. But it's for things we know. The Batman Brave and the Bold script's not done. We know we're getting a Batman because, like he even said, he's Warner Brothers' most popular character. Of course, we're getting a Wonder Woman movie. She's, part of the trinity of DC Comics. She should probably be the same in the movies. All understandable. But they're still sitting on the, hey, we don't have a script. We're not going to cast. We're not getting things moving in any way on this movie until we have everything in place. And the thing that I like, this is the best thing I think he said at the thing. He said, and that's one of our biggest rules for DC. They have to have finished scripts. He goes, we just killed a project. Everyone wanted to make the movie. It was greenlit, ready to go. The screenplay wasn't ready, and I couldn't do a movie where the screenplay's not good. And we've been really lucky so far because Supergirl's script was so effing good off the bat, and then Lanterns came in, and that script was so effing good. Clayface, same thing. You read it, and it's just good. So we have these scripts, and we've been really lucky with our, whys in our choices or whatever the combination is.
Mm-hmm.
Good. That's good to hear. Hey, we want to make this because Marvel has done this way too many times. We really want to make this Thor movie. Okay, well, let's just get in production. We'll figure out the script later, and it shows.
Yeah, I'm glad that it makes them hiring James Gunn even smarter, an even more intelligent decision, because not only does he know how to make good superhero movies, but he can take everything that he's learned from Marvel working there and realize, okay, this is how they did things, and here's how their tower is crumbling down. Here's how we need to do things at DC to avoid becoming the next Marvel. Because that's all anybody ever wanted to do. They saw how successful Marvel was, and they tried to cheaply recreate it. Everybody wanted to have their own connected universe. And going into it, I don't think that was Marvel's original intention. I think they just wanted to make a couple of good movies, and if they happen to be connected, cool, but I don't know if that was their original intent going in. Whereas these other studios, that was the only goal.
Yep, 100%.
By the time they got to that, I guess the Captain America movie was the first one to deal with, the Tesseract, right? And there were no other Infinity Stones before that, were there?
I don't believe so.
Let me see. Yeah, no, I think that might have been the first
Hulk,
one.
Then Iron Man 2, and then it was Captain America, I think. And that would be the first one.
It was Thor.
Tesseract.
But the first Thor didn't have any Infinity Stones.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Thor was right after Iron Man 2. And then Captain America.
Yep. And then the Avengers, which had the Infinity Stone and Loki's thing and had the Tesseract.
But
I think they planned to have a team
They put that together
up
within 2 years.
Yeah.
What they were going to do with that Infinity Saga.
They did. And then he also commented, there's been a lot of rumors that the Waller project was being reworked into a Checkmate series, which Checkmate is kind of like a spy group in the DC universe,
Okay.
and he has said that is not the case. It is still a Waller series. They're still working on scripts. Just hasn't been done yet, so there's no real formal announcement.
I'm gonna
who the Red
laugh.
Queen was on Smallville? Do you remember that? Oh yeah, there's the Smallville reference.
Who was on Smallville?
The Red Queen. Who played the Red Queen
Okay.
on Smallville was Martha Kent.
Ah, okay.
Because she was Senator Martha Kent, and she was trying to keep Clark safe.
Okay.
Like he needed it.
And honestly, if they made a Checkmate series or a Waller series, as long as it's good, I don't really care what it's called.
I will laugh so hard when it comes out if it turns out that it's like leagues better than Special Investigation.
How could
Everything
it not
will
be?
be.
If it isn't leagues better,
Because here's what's funny. I was watching one of your guys' old videos from way back when, and it was back when
Pre-Doug
I
video?
assume... Huh?
a pre-Doug video.
Pre-Doug video?
Yeah, pre-Doug
Oh, okay,
video.
Okay.
So you guys were talking about Disney Play, which I assume must have been the name for Disney Plus before. I don't really know. Because
It was
I
originally.
hadn't heard about it until they were calling it Disney Plus. I'd never heard of something called Disney Play. But you guys had brought up the 3 of the shows that would end up on Disney Plus. You brought up you said there's going to be a Scarlet Witch show, there's going to be a Nick Fury show, and there's going to be a Loki show. And you were kind of close on quite a few pieces, except for the Nick Fury show. What you guys described sounded way cooler. Like, I don't think you mentioned scrolls or anything like that. You did mention like a spy thriller sort of show, and it sounded like a great idea. And then, I'm like, wow, that would be cool. And then I'm like, oh, right, we got the Nick Fury show, and it was bad.
We could have
he's the
said
ultimate spy. You gotta have an ultimate spy show for that guy.
we could have said the Nick Fury show was him just tooting out the theme to the Love Boat, and it would have been better than what we got.
It could have just been 8 episodes of Nick just cranking hog and
Gooning.
just gooning away, and it's like, wow. I mean, it was pretty much the same story as the last episode, but I kind of want to see where this goes.
And at the end, let's get this Super Scroll.
Let's get the Super Scroll right. Oh God.
And then he also oh, go ahead.
I feel bad for what's her name, Daenerys Targaryen. What is her?
Emilia Clarke.
Emilia Clarke. Thank you. I feel bad for her because she's been in not a lot of good stuff since then. She was in Terminator Genesis. That was terrible. There's the final season of Game of Thrones that she hated. She was in Special Investigation. What else was she in that wasn't great? Wasn't she also in... Wait, was that her in Solo, too?
Yeah, that was her in
Yes.
Solo, yeah.
Kira.
That's right. And that didn't really amount to much of anything.
I liked
And-
Solo, though. I thought
I
it was
liked
good.
Solo, too. To be fair, I did
There
like
was a Solo too?
But there were so many people that didn't
I know.
that Disney was like, immediately cancel all the side movies. Don't make any more. People didn't go see Solo.
That's unprofessional panic. When you
Whatever
you're
we do,
opening-
don't overreact to this. Cancel everything.
Right.
Immediately.
They're opening a whole
overreact.
brand new universe with that movie, and they just drop it?
Yep.
Come on.
Because oh man, just imagine if we would have gotten an Obi-Wan movie instead of the kind of disappointing show. I mean, you could have still kept
hold on.
whole...
Would we have gotten him sneaking a girl out under his cloak?
God, I
That
hope
was
not.
very
That was
Monty Python.
so dumb.
That was so Monty Python.
ridiculous. No, I think we still could have gotten, him trying to save Leia. Maybe, I don't know, trim down the whole Inquisitorius thing. I like the idea of the Inquisitorius. Like, they were kind of cool in the comics. They were dumb in Rebels, but it was, in the first couple of the first season, it was meant for kids. So, I don't know. I didn't like the Inquisitors in the first season. The Grand Inquisitor was fine.
I liked it when
But
Maul
the two
wiped him
lackeys
out.
were dumb.
I was like, oh boy, okay.
But I don't know. I didn't care for the way that they were portrayed in Obi-Wan. It wasn't very good. And I assume that a lot of the stuff that they ended up doing was a result of it becoming a TV series instead of a movie. I think they added a lot of unnecessary stuff. And I think it would have been more cohesive as a movie.
I didn't like the fact that they included Leia. They should have had just like, if they were going to have an Obi-Wan show, they should have had it standalone. He didn't need Leia and Luke. They didn't need to be developed at that point. They were just children, you know what I mean? Maybe a cameo shot. Say, oh, that's the kid I'm watching. But I think he needed an adventure on his own. That would have been much better. Yeah, he could have met Darth Vader. Okay, that's cool. I didn't like that part of the show either. But if
I
it would
think
have
they
been
needed a reason to make him leave Tatooine, though, because they kind of
Luke was
again,
there,
yeah, the whole idea that no fault of George Lucas, that's just the way the movies turned out. Everything that came before the original trilogy had to put all the pieces where they belong. That's why you can't actually kill Vader at the end of Obi-Wan during their fight. He has to say, "Well, then I guess you truly are gone, Darth." He has to say that because he calls him Darth in A New Hope, and It's like they had to set up everything, so they couldn't really stray too far. So they needed a reason to get him off of Tatooine from guarding Luke, and I guess that's the best reason. Because I don't think he would have just left for to save a Jedi or something. At least it doesn't appear that way. In the beginning of the show, seemed pretty content watching Luke, buying him a toy ship, and cutting his giant monster meat.
Yep.
I did not mean for that to sound that dirty.
You don't know how a crate dragon tastes.
he was really 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 holding that crate dragon.
At least you didn't say his meat, okay?
Yes.
Boy, I have some tasty meat.
Oh boy. Okay, so getting back to the Rolling Stone interview, he did also mention that other DCU projects besides what's been formally announced are close to receiving the green light. So,
okay.
Some announcements sounds like they're coming on other new projects, and then finally, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, has been retitled to Supergirl.
Oh.
Just like you did with Superman.
Yeah.
I was kind of excited for that, but all right, I guess.
I mean, that comic is awesome. That so good. And it is. Dave, you're right. I was thinking the same thing. It went from Superman Legacy to Superman, and then we had Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and now it's just Supergirl. I was like the marketing department, like, it's too many words, you
Probably.
guys.
Like,
you know.
Look, people are short attention spans. You got to give them one title. Also, we're gonna have a 1/3 of the screen where a guy is just spinning a yo-yo for 3 hours. Trust us, we have to do this.
I like it.
It's gonna be Yo-Yo Rick from Rick and Morty.
You want him to press all the buttons.
Yeah. I think I got them all tonight. So.
Oh man.
You didn't get impressive. Most impressive. So say something very impressive.
Doug, help me out here.
I got nothing. You can't put us on the spot like that, Keith.
You got it. That was the best thing you could say. Do you needed help?
Oh. Oh man.
By the way, folks, we have been watching Rick and Morty this season, and we have been disappointed. I don't know if you guys or anybody out there wants to make a statement in the chat if you've actually seen it, but I don't think I've maybe laughed out loud a couple times all season. I'm so disappointed.
I chuckled a couple of times last night, but it was kind of I don't know. It was a nothing burger episode. It felt like I thought that this was going to be more of a very Jerry-centric episode, kind of like Night Family. I love Night Family. Night Family is probably one of my favorite episodes. I thought it was going to be like that. And then it was what it was. It was fine, I guess. But yeah, this whole season so far has been kind of fine, I guess.
It's funny because normally Sunday nights, like, I should say Monday mornings, I don't usually stay up late enough to watch it Sunday night. But I'm always like, oh man, I gotta watch Rick and Morty. Gotta watch Rick and Morty. I do it on my lunch. And today I had to watch the 2 episodes. You know, we reviewed tonight for that anime that I'm not going to mention again. But I wasn't like, oh my god, I can't believe I haven't watched it. I can't believe I haven't watched it yet. And then you guys were talking about it in the chat, how it was the same. I mean, season 7 and season 8 has, as Dave put it, the show has completely jumped a shark. Like, it's not the same show. It's not funny. Before, where I would laugh multiple times every episode by myself, watching it by myself, which if you get someone to laugh when they're watching it by themselves, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's not an easy.
I agree with that.
And it doesn't do it. And I watch it and I'm like, they're not like terrible episodes. Like, I'm not like, oh, that's terrible. I'm like, it's kind of like a science fiction show, just with these characters. And
they just kind of lost the edge that they had,
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks.
I don't know. I don't know if they I don't know if they lost some of their, better writers during the writer's strike. Maybe some people never came back. It seems like maybe I haven't really looked into it. This is pure speculation on my part. I don't know if they're working with a different crew, but it feels like a diet version of what we're used to. It's the sugar-free Rick and Morty. It's I don't know. It's yeah, I guess no edge anymore. It's like that Dan Harmon was so, intent on making sure everything fits in his story circle, that everything is smooth and round, and it has a start, goes around, and then it ends where it started, and everything is the way that he's said in multiple times in different interviews, he does not like the lore that the show creates, doesn't like it. He never liked the whole Evil Morty idea thing. He doesn't like episodes that carry over from previous episodes. And on one hand, I kind of get it. I know there are a lot of people that prefer some of those episodes from season one where they don't like the overarching thing. They just want standard Looney Tunes style Rick and Morty. And that's fine for some people. I actually kind of like when they create this lore, because to me, that tells me that a creator cares about the world building and the characters that he made. That, he's actually carrying some development over from previous episodes.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened, but it seems like they're doing a lot less of that.
Like the Citadel episodes. Those were great. And they would only have like one per season. But that's what made them great.
Yeah.
Is that you continue a story over 4 different seasons and you've only had 4 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. And they did it with several different things. And what's that other show they got that was the same show basically? Solar Opposites.
Yeah.
They take a whole society and put it in the closet or the wall, yeah. And they can have an entire show dedicated to that, and then the show moved out to the lawn and stuff, and they go away from the main characters, and that works,
It's a good show, by the way.
And they did that with kind of in some episodes with Rick and Morty, and that worked, and that's just gone now. It's gone.
Mm-hmm.
How many seasons was it renewed for? Was it like 4 seasons all at once? It was like 7, 8, 9, and 10, or was it more than that? Because man, I this seems like a show I am going to be soon done watching.
I wonder if he's like bored of it, and it seems to me like it reminds me of the way that South Park is going. The creators of South Park, it seems like they're sort of just over it. And they're fulfilling whatever contracts they have to fulfill, but that's it. Like it seems like they just want to run their restaurant now,
and that's understandable.
Yeah,
understandable. You do something too long, you get bored with it. You don't care anymore.
Yeah,
I'm sure they have other ideas, other things they want to work on. But you're right. Probably just.
But then just I don't know, give it an ending and be done with it. Then don't agree to these contracts if your heart's not in it.
Well, it might have been when they first signed the contract. And with all the stuff that happened on Rick and Morty we won't get into all that stuff. Obviously one of the creators left and, they got new voice actors and all that stuff. At that point, they probably just should have said, let's just end it.
You know what? We're good. We've made enough.
Looking back, hindsight's 2020, that would have been the right move. Because it just hasn't been the same since.
Yep.
But there were, I think looking back at like the history of, say, Family Guy, they had a few seasons in there that were kind of duds, and then they go up and down. So, but who wants to sit here and watch Rick and Morty for the next 25 years, having up and down seasons? No, I
25 years, Morty, 25. We're never gonna end.
100 years, Rick and Morty. Oh, yeah. I just think that you cut your losses on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do, though, right? What are you gonna do?
I'm probably gonna keep watching.
Yeah. I don't. Maybe it'll be a reverse Game of Thrones.
One of these days we're gonna get one of those. But will anyone know? Will everyone tune out?
Will the ending be so amazing that it just makes up for a horrible season? Where, like, when you're trying to describe it to people, like, look. I know episodes 1 through 15 are bad, but episode 16, it's so worth it. So if you make it through those first 15 episodes, it's really bad, I know. But episode 16, oh man. It's
You're gonna get rewarded with an hour of great TV.
Well, actually, it's only 25 minutes. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get your hopes up. It's not even an hour. Yeah, it's
So 15 minutes of great TV.
That's right. And it's going to be the best 15 minutes you have ever had.
All right.
Should we find someone to raid, gentlemen?
Good.
Yeah, I guess it's about time.
You people watching.
I do see him on.
He is playing The Last of Us Part 2. I was watching him play before we jumped on tonight. That does look like a fun game. Bubble is on?
Just not a fun show.
Yes.
Bubble.
Oh, and Tiny Velker is on with only 6. Huh.
Oh, should we do Tiny Valkyr?
Yeah, help her out.
Why not?
We like to
That
support
way
our...
she has a nice round 10 because we've got 4 people here on Twitch right now. Now, by the way, speaking of that, for those of you that are watching us on YouTube, by the way, first off, thank you very much. We appreciate you tuning in. Seriously, you're the best. If you have not already subscribed, please do us a favor. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Subscribing on YouTube, it just tells YouTube that people want to watch more of what we have. And if you want to watch more of what we have, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified, share it with your friends, and of course, make sure you comment down below. Because we want to hear from you, and we want to respond to you right here on Not Your Status Quo. Hey fellow nerds, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of this stuff, make sure that you check out our Twitch stream. We try to do these live Sunday or Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Keep an eye on our social media to find out when you can join in live and chat with us during these live streams. Also, as usual, don't forget to check out our other social media. Add us at Twitter, comment down below, and we'll see you next time right here on Not Your Status Quo.